Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun with Benzion. Today we're going to discuss a new topic. Not really new, but it's a new Mishnah on the Benzion and Aleph, number 22 in Kesubos. We're going to actually dissect Pesha Asar, Pesha Hitzir, and how is it different than Migo? The Mishnah says, Isha Amra, Isha Yisi, Grusha, Nina Menes. She says, I was married, right? And then she says, you know what? I was married, but I also got divorced, right? So, Shapesha Asar or Pesha Hitzir, because it was Ein Shar Shachal Lefanecha. There's nothing that we have to. There's no suspicion over here. She comes in front of us. We have no idea who she is. Yeah, I was once married, but he divorced me. Okay, you asked yourself, you martyred yourself. However, the Mishnah says that there's Eidim, if it's public knowledge, or at least two Eidim know she was married, and she says Grushani, she's not Nemenes because she is not. First of all, she doesn't have amigo here, and second of all, she's going against Eidim that say she was married. She has a cheskas eishish. How could she go against Eid Echad Nema B'Yisurin? Only is Nema B'Yisurin. You're only Nema B'Yisurin, not Nema B'Mamon, because chazaka, an assumption, 75% proof is good enough to answer yourself. Shavisi Nafshei Chaticha D'Yisura presumably is also because of Eid Echad Nema B'Yisurin. A person is reliable. We assume what a person says about himself. To answer himself, he is believed. That's not called Mesim Asma Russia. To say you're usher in something, that doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a firm person. And firm person is okay. It's okay to be a Haredi person, to be Machmir. You want to now, presumably it means it's a good thing. There are certain times in your life when it's good to have precious and to be marchi yourself in Avera, but not your whole life. But it could be a good thing. So it could be a good thing. It's not Eid on a Masim Asma Russia. It's not you're believed. Midin chazaka. I mean, Eid Echad only has 75% proof. It's not Shtei Eidim. So you're believed to answer yourself, like the Gemara says, Shavisi Nafshei Chaticha D'Yisura. So all you are believed when we had it was a cheskas eishish that we assume you're married and you say I'm grusha, so it's chazaka and chazaka. Why should we believe you over the cheskas eishish? And the same thing the Mishnah says about being violated as a captive, right? Whether she was violated by the non-Jews or not, and she's a steward of the Kohen or not. It depends if it's Pesha Asar Pesha or there's Eidim, and she wouldn't believe. The Gemara says, I'm a Ravasi, Minayin the Pesha Asar Pesha. How do you know this concept exists? And the Gemara makes a pasuk, and the Gemara says, you don't need a pasuk. Lamali Kras Svari Yasra Husharila. What does that Gemara mean over here? Who Asra Husharila? And how is Pesha Asar Pesha Hitir? Basically, it's amigo. Pesha Asar Pesha Hitir, right, is basically, and what is amigo? Amigo means I could have made a better claim, but yet I made a worse claim. So believe me with the worst claim, because I could have made a better claim. So there's a certain set of nemana, a certain set of truth. The Gemara on Daf Yud Beis talks about migo, that migo is believed. It's discussion if migo is believed or not. Pesha Asar Pesha Hitir seems to be above that, and that's exactly what the Gemara says on Ted Zayim and Aleph, where the Gemara is machalik that according to Rabbi Yeshua, even though he doesn't rely on migo when it comes to the case on Daf Yud Gimel and Aleph, he doesn't believe in migo, but he does believe in Pesha Asar Pesha Hitir. The Gemara says explicitly, what's the difference? The Gemara says, Zeh shar shachal lefanecha, zeh ein shar shachal lefanecha. Literally it means the cow is slaughtered in front of you. The cow is not slaughtered in front of you. If the cow is slaughtered in front of you, we have a shaila, right? There's a suspicion of it. We don't know what goes on. We have to rule on what goes on. Was it a kosher shchita? Not kosher shchita. Going to eat the meat or not? If ein shar shachal lefanecha, Pesha Asar Pesha Hitir is dafka talking about cases where the person, we have no suspicion going on. The person just comes over to you in the street and says, you know what, I was married. It comes from San Francisco to New York. We don't know who the person is, from San Francisco, maybe they're in Silicon Valley. We don't know who these people are, unless they had a big startup. We don't know who they are. They're on a Shark Tank. We don't know. So, they come to New York. Are they telling the truth or not? They introduced it. So therefore, even if Yeshua is Moda, Ein Shor Shachal Lefanecha, they're believed. Now, why are they believed more? So there's a classical Hakir investigation by Rav Chana Wasserman, where he discusses the reason migo generally works. Migo, we'll see many times throughout Shas, works is nemanas. It's even migo lahotzi mamon might work. You have a claim. If you make a claim, but you could have made a better claim. That's good enough proof to be motzi mamon in certain cases. Ada is proof. It's like shtei edim. But Pesha Asar Pesha Hitir is better than that. So Rav Chana Wasserman says, migo, there's two ways of understanding migo. One way of understanding migo is because it's a proof. It's a raya. It's a proof. It's a strong proof. Why is it a proof? I could have said a better claim, like the Gemara on Yud Gimel and Aleph says, right? She could have said, I was a mukazetz before marriage, and she says I was a mukazetz tachtav, right, after the engagement, right? So she could have got more money, or it's different. Or instead of saying I was nenas, I was raped after the engagement, she could have said mukazetz, where she'd be muteris to the kohen. So she has a better claim. She gives a worse claim. So we should. There's more reason to believe her claim. Now, one way of saying migul works is because it's a proof, meaning it's sufficient proof to us that she's telling the truth. That's one way of understanding migul. Another way of understanding migul is that we don't necessarily believe what she's saying. It's not a proof what she's saying, because a lot of times people don't want to always say, for whatever reason, they don't want to say the better claim. They say the weak claim. Not people don't have the guts to say the truth always, so they say a more easy claim to say. But it's koach hataina. He says, meaning my portfolio has the strength of a claim. Now, the way it works in the Mama is not always that based on awards money to someone based on a conclusive proof. Sometimes you make the right claims. That's why you have lawyers. You go to court. People make the right claims, even if though there's not enough evidence to support something. But because you made a strong claim, and the other person wasn't able to disprove your claim, the claim is what gets the money, not the raya, not the proof, not the truth of the matter, but the claim, the koach hataina. And that's what you have over there. When I have a better taina and I make a worse taina, so that's a strong claim. And if you can't refute my claim, so I win with that. I win in base. It doesn't mean I proved it. I won. There's winning and there's proving. So Rabbi Chana Wasserman uses this to explain different things, but I like to explain that both two things do exist in migul. Sometimes it's actually a good proof, and sometimes it's just koach hataina. And most times, making a better claim is really just koach hataina. It's a better proof, because a lot of times you don't really want to say the other thing for whatever reason. So it's a taina, and it could be motzi mamon potentially, midin 80%. Like I say, it's proof 80%. But if you want it to be a raya, a conclusive proof, that's what Rabbi Yeshua says, ein shor shachal lefanecha, meaning it's two things, a migul, right? Because I didn't have to say anything. Every pesha aser pesha there's a migul, right? She says, Eishes isha yisiv grushani. She didn't have to say anything, right? She could be shosakis, and we wouldn't have any suspicion. We'd allow her to marry any man. The fact that she says something over here, so she has a migul, which is a koach hataina, plus she has proof. She has proof that ein shor shachal lefanecha, no suspicion over here. If she's introducing it, she must be telling it to matir herself. She must be telling the truth. There's a raya to the truth. There's a proof to the truth, and it's I would say a 90% proof. And the Gemara was machalik. We were already machalik in the previous year on Daf Ted Zayin over there between two different types of rov. There's a ruba the isa kaman, ruba the leisa kaman. Ruba the isa kaman with 90% proof. Ruba the leisa kaman with 80% proof. And the Gemara Dafka said over there, it's a machlokas. Holkan wamonach harov. In holkan wamonach harov. When it comes to rov, you need a 90% proof in order to be Muslim. Sometimes you need 90% proof. 80% is not good enough. That's what Rabbi Yeshua subscribes to, and Rabbi Yeshua says, when ein shor shachal lefanecha, that's what he holds. Pesha pesha hit there. In addition to the koach hataina, you also have the second type of migul. You have the proof of the migul, which is a 90% proof versus an 80% proof. And we already mentioned that according to Shmuel and according to Rabbi Yeshua, you need 90% proof in order to be motzi mamon, and that's why. So pesha aser pesha hit there will be the second or the better type of migul, not the worst one, and that's why it's different than a regular migul. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.